Now, I'd also like to ask you about the James Ashby matter. Justice Reris in the Federal Court dismissed the sexual harassment case against Peter Slipper as an abusive process.
That's quite true, yeah.
He said it was politically motivated.
It was.
Now, can you provide any details of your discussion with Mal Brough, who was a minister in the Howard government and who is now challenging for the seat against Peter Slipper?
You know, Mal Brough approached me and he asked to have a meeting with me, and we met at Palmer Resort. I had a drink with him and he said to me that he had some damning evidence against Peter Slipper that he wanted to share with me. And I said, what was that and why do you want to share it with me? And he outlined a case that he thought was against Peter Slipper in relation to one of his employees. And I said, well, what's that got to do with you? You're not the employee. And he said, we want you to give us the money and fund it. Because at that stage, I think Peter Slipper was relevant in the balance of power in this country. And I said, well, I'm not prepared to fund anyone's campaign. And when he said, well, can I explain it more to you? And he explained it to me. And I took the judgment that it was basically made up. It was done for political purposes. And it was hearsay, and I wanted nothing to do with it. He then asked me if I'd give a job to a woman that was key in the case that he was working on. And he's admitted to that. And I said I wouldn't give her a job. And as we were concluding the conversation, Joe Hockey went past because he was staying at the resort with his family. He sat down and we had a cup of coffee. At no time did Joe Hockey even discuss this issue. And he was
Did you discuss it with him? Did you mention it to him?
Was it Joe Hockey? I don't recall. I don't think I did. But certainly not this issue. But he just sat down to have a cup of coffee and then he went. Now, on the last day of Parliament just recently, Peter Slipper attacked Joe Hockey for being part of a conspiracy. And that just wasn't true. The only discussion I had was with Mal Brough. The only request I had was with Mal Brough. And when I indicated I didn't want to fund the thing, he suggested that I visit Brisbane tomorrow and meet with a QC, which I never did.
How much money was he looking for?
I don't know. He was looking to fund the case, and I just said that I wasn't prepared to do it. It wasn't a question of the amount of money, it was a question of the propriety of it. You don't want to fund cases against people that you have no personal interest in for the sake of it. It's not a good thing to do. And I thought it was highly politically motivated. I thought it was the wrong thing to do. And of course, when the judgment came through in the Federal Court, it found that was the case without any reference to anything I could have said. And I thought I'd leave it at that.
Why did you initially tell reporters in Brisbane in December last year that you hadn't been approached by Mal Brough?
No, I didn't say that. On my, if you look at my Twitter account on the 26th of July 2012, I set out exactly what my position was in relation to Peter Slipper and all that. That's all I said. I never made any comment. But I felt I had to when Peter Slipper, the last day of Parliament, attacked Joe Hockey, to say that he was involved in a conspiracy against him. Now, I wasn't aware of that attack until I was approached about 2 weeks ago by the media, and then I referred back to Hansard and had a look at it, and then I thought I'd better clear the air because Joe Hockey shouldn't go to the election with that cloud hanging over him, because he certainly had no role in the operation.
Now, Mal Brough's called you a liar. Do you intend to pursue that matter?
Well, of course I will, yeah.
In what way?
I'll sue him. Okay.
When do you intend to do that?
As soon as my lawyers can get the writ onto him, because he's a liar, there's no doubt about that. He's been found by the Federal Court to have been acting for political processes independently of me. He's just doing this as another desperate attempt to get into Parliament. And really, he'll have to account for himself, and in court I'll produce the evidence that I've got that indicates what I'm saying is true.
Clive Palmer, thanks so much for coming in.
It's such a pleasure. All the best.